Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of a series titled The Dilettante Recommends. No, it's not just a book recommendation series but a lot more than that. It is a serious attempt to know about the book and the author in detail. My aim through this series is to make all the viewers acquainted with not only books but the other art forms too, which help us to be a better human being. In this series, you will find recommendations related to books, podcasts, music, documentaries and stuff like that. So before any further ado, let's get started. Hey folks, welcome to the Dilettantes. I'm your host Parthy and today I'll recommend you a book by H.G. Wells called The Invisible Man. But before we move further and discuss about the book in detail, let me give you some information about the author.
H.G. Wells was born at Atlas House, 46 High Street 1, Bromley in Kent on 21st September 1866. He studied at a local school and later at the Normal School of Science in South Kensington. He soon entered the debating society of the school. These years marked the beginning of his interest in a possible reformation of society. He was also among the founders of the Science School Journal, a school magazine which allowed him to express his views on literature and society. Within a year, he wrote The Time Machine and The War of the Worlds, his most famous works. He was soon able to give up journalism and devote himself to becoming a full-time novelist.
Being invisible would be pretty fun. We can do anything and everything that we always wanted to do, and it is that power that we all wanted at some point in our life, aren't we? Well, The Invisible Man talks about the same thing as the title of the book suggests. I just talk about this book, but before we move further, let me tell you that this video is spoiler free. So if you think that I'm going to give you some spoilers, then relax and watch this video till end and you'll surely going to fall in love with. The Invisible Man is a sci-fi novel which revolves around Griffin, the protagonist of this story. Griffin is a scientist who has discovered the formula for invisibility and becomes invisible. And then the story revolves around how he established the reign of terror in the city in which he lives. And it is after reading this book that I realized that how prolific the author is, because this is not just a sci-fi but a satire on society. What makes this book rereadable is that it has a lot of layers. Like it talks about a lot of things like isolation, greed of power, corruption, betrayal, social responsibility and stuff like that. Apart from that, what really attracted me towards this book is the way power of greed develops in Griffin. His invisibility undoubtedly grants him the power to take advantage of his fellow man. And in this book he tells one of the characters, Camp, that I'm gonna read you that. He will have the power to work around a man, whatever weapon he has, choose his point and strike as he like. He further tells him that he will establish a reign of terror. He will take some town like Burdock and terrify and dominate it. He will have power to issue orders and all who disobey his orders will be killed. Those who defend them will also be killed. And that is so relatable in today's world as we see people around us who have power dominating others in a very negative kind of way. They don't think that the power that they have comes with the social responsibility. So yeah, that is something which really intrigued me a lot. This book is not just humorous and interesting to read, but it has a lot of layers in it. I don't know why I kept repeating this word, but yeah. It is an amazing read and it will blow away your mind, definitely. But what astonished me the most is such a negative character. I never read something like this in which the main character is so antagonist, and that makes this book very interesting to read. Griffin is not like that. He is not a good man. He is such a negative character, and the ending of this book is damn. Yeah, it's really very interesting. And apart from Griffin, the characters whom I really admire a lot is Mrs. Hall, the owner of the inn. She is really a very nice woman. She is very hospitable, very humble, and the conversation between her and Griffin is something which is very interesting to read. Apart from Mrs. Hall, Mr. Marvel is such an interesting character, and yeah, these characters makes this book very interesting to read. And the shocking fact is that it has some scientific accuracy. Yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you liked my first attempt in the Dilettantes series, and trust me, there are a lot more to come. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.